Hello, my angels, and welcome back to a new day, new reading. I want to see what this collective, yes, it is on, what this collective is in the midst of, what this collective is going through in this moment. So let's see what we have here when it comes to this collective. Oh, Hermit. So you would be in sort of isolation period. You would be going through this self-discovery, the maybe doing meditation, taking inventory about your life, what you want, what you don't want, figuring out deep-seated feelings within yourself, right? You would be going through this maybe a bit of a planning when it comes to certain things or decisions that you need to make, and that could be why you are finding yourself going into this hermit as well. A lot of reflection is taking place for this collective right here, right now. But self-discovery really stands out to me. It could very well be the whole theme for this collective, going through self-discovery when it comes to you, your path, what kind of a person you want to be. Where do you see yourself, and how do I get to that place within me that I want to be, to embody the energy, to get things, right? Can we have more about this collective, what they're going through? Okay. It could be something here when it comes to, yes, as a Seven of Swords is kind of this trickery energy, right? It's very false, it's hidden, or something illegal, sabotaging. It can also talk about a warning, deception. That could be the reflection, right? Maybe you have been deceiving yourself with the process of thought. And you could be finding yourself maybe at a bit of a crossroad when it comes to this. And you would be diving in quite deep to it, right? Spending a lot of time alone, figuring this out about something that you collective think it's very deception, or you have been deceived, right? It feels a bit heavy in a way. It has caused some things within your life to feel stagnant. The Hanged Man is very much this rating game. It's also about gaining perspective, right? To make the right decisions. What is a waste of time? And you want to be free from the past, right? You don't want that stagnant energy to come along with you anymore. Again, going back to that self-discovery. It's to get you into this enlightenment within this situation, whatever it may be, right? We will get into it. Maybe you needed to sacrifice some things, release certain things that does no longer serve you. And that can be a lot of things. It doesn't have to be other people. It can be things within ourselves that we are noticing that it's not serving us. a pattern that we find it's self-sabotaging, right? And going into that deep reflection of, well, why is it that I keep doing it? Why is it that I keep finding myself at the same crossroad or with the same decision, with the same kind of people? You could be feeling quite stuck in a way in life. Really want to figure it out. You do not want to repeat the past anymore. You want this stagnation to be removed. And you don't want deception, you don't want trickery, you don't want hidden or indirect actions, you don't want anything to be sabotaged. So what is it really that I want, right, with the Hermit? But let's see if we can get a bit more. That's 7 of Swords. Oh, okay. Yeah, as we said it. 3 of Wands. So definitely looking out into the future, right? You want to have the right things with you as you go along on your journey. You could have seen something that, like within your mind, maybe with your third eye, if you have opened that, or that could be something that you're trying to do as well. But it could have been some kind of a vision for you, right? But you would be looking out on this journey and thinking, where is it that I want to go from here? Again, if you have been a person that has been prone to that pattern of self-sabotaging, you would be going over, why is it that I do that? How do I move on from this? How do I get again to that place within me where this is not present? How can I heal that out of my body, out of my vessel? What kind of a lesson is it that I need to learn to gain that clarity, right? Because we want a clear path. We do not want to be stuck and stagnant within this energy anymore. I need to release it. I need to focus on that future. What is it that I want? You want to maybe start anew, looking out on a new journey. It also talks about hard work, right? And effort, putting in efforts, improving ourselves. So it's quite big energy, I feel. It wouldn't be an easy chapter for this collective right here, right now. It could have been brewing for quite some time. And you just feel, sorry, you just feel more and more called to go into that hermit within yourself. Again, being very isolated, not doing much other than the things that you need to do in your everyday life. You're not out and about. You don't hang out with people. You don't plan anything outside of yourself. You're taking time with yourself to figure this out in this moment. Okay. 10 of Swords. So that would be kind of a rock bottom, right? Are you there right now? I don't think so. I think it's more about this deception, this hiddenness that you go over when it comes to a 10 of Swords in your life. So you would have, as a collective, just to tie you to it, you would have been going through a very hard chapter in your life where you felt defeated. That was a weird sound. You would have felt I don't even know quite to describe what it is that I'm feeling, but you would have felt so lost, so painfully, like 10 daggers in your back. Could this be tied to an end of a relationship? Yes, it could. And it doesn't have to be within a love dynamic. It can be friendships, it can be family, it could be work, it could be a lot of things, right? But you would have felt very, very low. You would have been maybe prone to get into a kind of a depressed state within your life, feeling miserable, feeling lost. Very much in suffering, right? It could be tied to something you feel has failed, and that's why you need to be clear on the future. What do I want with me, right? You do not want to feel like this anymore. And again, you would be sitting in very much of a, I was about to say mind ache. Maybe that's kind of the wrong word, because I don't think you are necessarily clouded within your mind. You are getting clarity with the Hermit, right? That's why you will feel this isolation, because you need that to gain that clarity over that Seven of Swords, over why this was stuck, why this felt stagnant, why the movement you may have been wishing and praying for never came to your table. Ten of Swords. I want one more for that. Yeah, but you're moving on from it. The Chariot. The Chariot. You have determination, right? And that's a good thing. You're also taking charge. You want to move forward when it comes to this situation. Again, you do not want to feel this energy anymore. So that's good. That could also be the clarity that you're kind of coming into. But then again, how do I then do it? What are the steps I need to take right now to release myself from this energy, right? Because we are the creator of our own reality, and what we think and feel, we put out into our reality, and that is what we will see, right? Does it make sense? It's a hard lesson to learn, to get into that understanding that no one creates our own reality, right? It's us. It's my process of thought. And what I think and feel and what I live, I will see. Because that's where my focus is. Does it make sense? But definitely you want to move forward from this. You want to gain some sort of balance as well, I feel, with the kind of that yin and yang energy the Chariot carries with him, right? With the masculine and feminine energy we embody within ourselves. Could this be talking about gaining courage as well? Yes, it could, and achievements, right? But you know you're on a journey here. And that journey is taking you, pushing you more, maybe right here, right now, forward, away from this situation, right? What about the Hermit? And the Fool. So you do really want something new here, right? You want a new beginning. You want potential. You want solitude. You want happiness. You want the start of a new journey. You want to find a path, right? And just take that leap of faith into the unknown. And that's what you are gaining that clarity upon. And that new beginning. And that could be in the background, kind of stirring within you. But then again, certain reflections here need to be made to get that. And you would know that. That's why you're in this period of isolation and reflection about the Three of Wands. How do I get there? How do I get to that place I really want to be in? And you would feel that within your vessel, like your soul calling out for something. And we can't always pinpoint it down to a specific sentence or frame of words, right? It's very much just a feeling we embody. And we can find ourselves being quite hard on ourselves in a situation like this, because we desperately want to see that new path. But there's a reason why you haven't come to that state within yourself right now. I'm sorry, I'm struggling a bit with my throat today. It is very much winter here where I'm at. It's a snowstorm. And me and my body feels that today. So don't mind me and my coughing. I will make some tea after and I'll be good again. But there are reflections here that you need to make, my angels, about coming into this new beginning. What does this new beginning entail for this collective? What is it that you want peace? Collective, you want peace. You want a break. You want rest. You want calm. You are sick and tired of the stress. And again, this sabotaging, this hiddenness, this lies and deceit. And you just want a break, right? And you feel your soul right here, right now is in desperate need of some kind of recovery. You would be feeling quite heavy within your energy. Your body could be showing you that lack of motivation, very tired, just want to sleep most of the day. You could be feeling like when you look yourself in the mirror that your skin looks kind of dull and your eyes would miss that spark, right? You can be noticing that you just have this feeling of you're not being at home in your own vessel, right? The reflection you are being shown in the mirror is not the reflection you want. So this new beginning you are wanting to focus on, this leap of faith, it has something here to do with just wanting peace. Peace. And it can seem like a very big wish, because again, what is peace, right? Peace is what we make of it. Peace can be found in a lot of ways. It depends on the person that you are and where you go to find that peace, right? And again, that could be one of the reasons why you're in that hermit, because you need to figure that out. Because that peace you want, you are capable of creating within yourself. It's not about finding that external, it's finding it internal, right? To be with yourself. And you would feel very called to just be. And we often, when we want to find peace, we get ourselves more stressed than we need to be, because we're like, how do I find that peace? Right? Not knowing, just sitting, just being, not doing anything is peace, right? I hope this makes sense. Don't overwork yourself. Don't put too much of a haste into yourself, but get clarity. What brings your peace? Does it bring you peace, for instance, to stand in your kitchen and cook a lovely meal? Make that your peace. Does it give you peace to sit and paint or draw? Then go do that. Go for a walk in nature if that brings you peace. Go to the water if that brings you peace. Listen to different kinds of herds if that brings you peace. That peace you're seeking, it's within here. And you embody that already, but you need to become aware of it. Again, we are the master that can create that reality within us. But we often take it outside from ourselves and think that what we wish and what we crave needs to come from something external, right? But you are collective, capable of creating this. You may not feel it, but you are. Hanged Man, your Queen of Cups. So you would be quite intuitive as well. You would be very sensitive, very loving, very given. You could be very much focused on family, right? That soul foundation within you. You could be a bit mysterious, I guess, but I feel like this collective is more to focus on maybe the empathy. Because as a Queen of Cup, you embody that energy. You would be, as a person, very empathic, right? And if you are an empath in this world, it can be hard. Because you understand everyone else's emotion, right? And you want to be there, you want to be that friend that is always there, because you know what it feels like not to have anyone there. But then again, the people you allow at your table, what do they provide you, right? Do they give you back in the same way, shape, or form, the same amount that you need, just as you do to them? Because you would be, again, very intuitive, so you pick up on this quite easily. For you, it would seem like a given that you think like that, right? And that can often surprise us when we then are being shown that other people, they don't. They don't see it like that. And that could be part of the deceit here, right? Again, within your own mind. Because you didn't see that clearly. One more for Queen of Cups. Four of Pentacles. Could there be a Queen of Cups that you try to hold on to as well? Yeah. But I don't think, again, I feel like it's very much within you and your own vessel, again, not outside of you. So you would be trying to hold on to something when it comes to your Queen of Cups. And I think it has to do with that empathy, as I just said. There are certain traits within you that you would be going over right here, right now. Again, what this whole reading is about. And figuring out with that hermit, well, what is it within me that I then bring forward on this journey? What emphasizes my strength? What is the best kind of qualities that I carry within? And what qualities do I then hold on to, right? And it could very well be that you really don't want to miss that And that's that love and devotion that you carry for people, because you know within this world, with all of the coldness, this universe needs a vessel like yours. And I'm seeing something very specific within my mind. You could have prayed to God, Source, the Creator, whoever you believe in, and on hands and knees crying, just be like, please don't make my heart cold. Don't take away my very soft and loving, generous, nurturing soul. I do not want this world to harden me. And again, it would be a very hard chapter right now for this collective, because it's over at Ten of Swords, right? And that's what you are moving on from. And that is hard. That's rock bottom. 10 daggers in her back. Can we have one more for the fourth? Yeah, temperance. There's a lot on the spread about meditation, like deep-seated reflection. So again, as a collective watching this reading, don't make it fit. You would be going through such a deep state within you. I don't ever think you have gotten this deep within yourself. But temperance around this is very beautiful, collective. It's very graceful, and it's being neutral, trying to find that balance within, right? It's about the purity and the peace and the calm. And that's what you really want with the Four of Swords as well under the Fool. You want to be able to find that peace within. So even though it's hard, look what you are in the midst of creating with yourself. It's really about turning that pain into strength and into something so beautiful and profound within ourselves, right? I also think that the temperance really indicate that, again, whoever you pray to, but I would say your angels, your spirit team is very much around you in this moment of time. And I definitely think that you would be able to feel it. And you are not alone. Even though we feel at our lowest, most alone, we are never alone. Never. They are with us every day. And I think you would be able to find some kind of peace within that, knowing that you are not. And they hear you, they see you, and they would comfort you. I really feel that kind of heavy energy that you are sitting in, collective. It's a bit of a pain in the heart space, and just a bit of sadness. Maybe feeling a little lost in a way. But you are not. You are not. This too shall pass. I'm hearing that. You could be saying that, or you need to say that. This too shall pass. No feeling is forever. And there is always a reason for why we need to go through this again, because look at what you are creating. Because you are not pushing it away. You need to sit with these emotions just like you're doing. If we don't sit with our emotions, if we don't go through them, how will we be able to learn from them? How will we be able to grow from them? and in the final end transmute them, right? We cannot heal things out of our vessel if we don't sit in it. Does it make sense? But there is something here with, again, with the Fool, the Ace of Wands. A new chapter, right? A new beginning. And with the Ace of Wands, that's a lot of passion. So I think your angels are trying to ease that into you. A passionate new beginning could very much be awaiting you. But it's within you and your own journey where you need to go right here, right now. I'm seeing that, a very big staircase, and the path that you have walked is very dark, right? And you can see shining big light at the top of the staircase and walking towards that. Very beautiful, but again, heavy. Me and my phone, it wanted to upgrade again. I keep pushing that away. And you could have done that again. Everything that happens in a reading is for a reason. But I want to get these about your intuition, the path soul, like what is this leading this collective to when it comes to them, the journey, intuitive healing. So your intuition would be sharpening, right? And like we just said, it's very much presence already with that Queen of Cups. You would have a very sharp intuition already. But it would be emphasized. Right? And your intuition guides you towards deep healing. You could be sitting like that when you meditate. With the eyes closed and just being. Like we said with the staircase. I see that. Journey within. Your inner world holds the key. Begin your path by looking within. And you are. That's why this whole thing is happening in this moment of time, right? And divine timing. Everything unfolds in the right time. Trust the universe's timing. I know the energy for this collective right here, right now is hard to sit in. Like it's heavy, right? But the thing you are getting out of it, it's beautiful. And you may not see it, you may not know it within this moment of time, and that is okay. Again, everything in divine timing, right? But there definitely something here, and I'm picking up this deck about spiritual gifts, so I kind of want to see what this is creating for this collective. A clear empath, and we set that with your empathy, right, with the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups. You are being called to turn into the emotions, thoughts, and physical energy of others so you can help others heal and clear unwanted energy. And that is true. If you are, again, as a person, your life would not have been easy, right? It usually is not for empaths. Again, there's a reason why you are able to feel other people's emotions like you do. There's a reason why it's for you seem like a given to move like that within the world, right? You are carrying a very grateful gift. And I know the path of the empath isn't an easy one to tread. But if you don't go through all of these emotions, how would you ever be able to help someone that would be standing in those emotions at some given point of time? If you haven't walked through that fire, that pain, how would you ever be able to explain it and relay it to someone so they can heal? Does it make sense? I don't think you have that in the forefront of your mind. But there's a reason why we learn each and every lesson on our journey. If you are here to help or enlighten this world within your own rights, right? You would need to walk through fires. Otherwise, how would you be able? How would you be able to tell your story? And how would you be able to so easily describe what other people may be going through if you yourself did not walk that path, did not cross that fire, didn't gain strength within it, didn't learn what you needed to learn within it? Does it make sense? Remote viewing, you're being called to explore great information about distance, unseen subjects, objects, or locations. Okay. Can we have one more for that? Maybe with your dreams and animals. Animal communication, you are being called to communicate and converse the messages of wisdom from the animals. Dreams and interpretation, you are being called to interpret dreams, to find deep meaning, to bring clarity and guidance. What I am hearing with that, I think the remote viewing for you right here, right now, collective, is to try to gain a bigger perspective when it comes to this. To kind of see the emotion outside of the box, right? Don't be so closed off. Have that awareness within the forefront of your mind that this is all happening for a reason. There's something here that's very profound for me and my healing journey. For me to move forward, I need to walk through this. I need to learn from this emotion. I need to gain strength, gain perspective, gain that center, gain that calmness. That's something here I need to learn. Animals, you could be finding that if you have a cat, for instance, right? The way your animals, if you do have them, are acting around you right now would be very different. And you would have taken notice of that, right? And you could feel very called in general to be around animals. I don't know why I'm seeing someone with a horse, like horses could be significant to you, or you could love riding, you could own a horse, but I'm just seeing someone with their forehead to the horse's forehead, just standing there, maybe feeling kind of a telepathy within that. And your dreams, well, it would surprise me if your dreams right here, right now, weren't really profound, right? You would receive a lot of messages, a lot of guide within your dreams. And it can be very helpful if you are, when you wake up, quite easily removed from what it was you were dreaming. I think it depends on who you are as a person. Some remember their dreams very clearly and some does not. But if you are finding it hard to remember what you dreamed, or if you feel like there's something very significant, like signs you're being shown within your dreams, have something besides your bed that when you wake up, also if it's throughout the night and you're like, "Oh, that I need, write it down so you can get back to it, so you can turn to that. Right? Okay. So definitely a lot of newfound awareness, new gifts as well could be emphasized. Reflect and listen. Reflection brings insight. Take time to listen to your inner voice, and you would very much would be feeling that call, right, within you to just be and just listen. I want to get these here. I just need to navigate through my text. It's like a Tetris game right here. Don't you call it that? Tetris? Oh no. But I want to see the inner temple, because you would be finding yourself in that, right? Kind of having that inner temple with yourself. Oh, it was such a weird view. Let's just see when it comes to this collective, my angels. Oh, chamber of protection. That's nice. I'm not gonna take the bottom one. They're kind of thick, so just the top. But chamber of protection. Let's see if I can find that. Number 50 could be very significant. Very significant number for you. Let's see what it talks about. Don't place your attention outside of yourself. Focus it within. The more you look to external sources to guide, nurture, and validate or affirm you, the more likely you feel off kilter. Draw your strength, your guidance, your truth, your worth from inside. If you draw your sense of safety from outside of yourself, you will forever be defending yourself from the outer world. Many see energetic protection as a sort of defense, something they need to be wary of. But if you take a look after you're scared, no. But if you take a look after your sacred place into your own hands, you get to decide who enters it. Much like the guarded bee, a natural born protector who decides who will enter the sacred place of the hive. Sometimes this card appears when you're being called to renegotiate your boundaries with places and people, which really means redefining your definition of a sacred space. This card can also appear when you are becoming overstimulated by the energy of other people and may have been drawing your sense of self from outside rather than within. The chamber of protection is an invitation to reassure yourself. You can do this by connecting with Source and the earth and doing whatever you need to replenish and take care of your own need. To give from a place of plenty, not a place of depleting and lack. For that's how resentment builds and boundaries become blurry. You are being called to tend to your energy and energetically prioritize yourself. So stop feeling like you are owing anyone anything more than you owe yourself. Drop the guilt, take personal responsibility, and put your need first. You get to define what your sacred sacred space is, and who is permitted to enter. I think that ties in so beautifully to the reading with what we went through in the beginning about you kind of taking that inventory, right? Of how you become and how you find that peace that you desperately want. It's not from outside of yourself. No one will be able to give you that. It's built from within here. We can create that, and peace could be significant. That could be a very big sign for you. Wait. The burning rose, maybe, but it's just so many. They're very thick. These cards, it's like, but they are beautiful, and I love them. The end is also the beginning. Wow. Why am I feeling that you've been dreaming something like this? Walking through a light portal of some sort. And that just came to me instantly when I saw the card, like you could have been dreaming that you went through something like that. So the end is also the beginning. Number 49. The end is the beginning, and the beginning is also the end. Mourning is on the other side of mourning. Healing is on the other side of feeling. Rebirth is on the other side of death. Everything in this world begins again if you have the courage to let it properly end. Life is always trying to invite us into who we are becoming. Its natural way, and it's always involves change. Change is the one consistent in life. Nature is a great mystery school there is. The snakes know, the roses hip us too. We need to surrender what once was to one day be reborn anew. Change can be scary, for it means surrendering to the unknown and trust in your rebirth by letting go of what one. Oh, I can hardly get the words out. I'm sorry. I feel like I'm butchering this right now. Sorry. The unknown and trust in your go and letting go of what once were. I think it's how you say it. Was whatever. To be not who you were and not quite who you will soon become. It requires us to trust in the transformation, for we are always transforming, to trust in the death for the rebirth to occur. The more we resist change, the further away we get from who we are becoming. The more we resist change, the more disconnect from life force and life we become. When we embrace change, we embrace life and nature and are forever becoming. It is what the soul came here for. It is the bridge of spirit and matter. Your soul came here to truly live. What are you being called to release in order to start something new? Again, I feel like with kind of a full circle moment coming to this reading, right? Because we talked about that in the beginning of this reading. You are, but I want to get maybe a bit more clarity for this collective of if there's something here we can get a bit more specific about when it comes to what is it that you need to focus that release on, right? The ending is also the beginning. The 4 seasons. Can you embrace your cyclical nature? Cyclical, do you say that? Cyclical. Number 29. Just as nature goes through cycles, you too are a cycle beginning. Though you may not have followed the agricultural seasons as closely as your ancestors did, you remain a part of nature, from it and of it. This card invites us to attune ourselves to these cycles, to live more creatively and productively, both to our own benefit and what of the earth. We might expect to be our most outgoing, energetically self during the warmer months, but the solid wheel of the year, the resting month, are just as important as the fair something ones. Winter is a deeply meaningful time to honor our ancestors and reflect on our own mortality. What if you viewed yourself as a micro after mic micro, just like what do you call that? Well, it would be that word. I can't say it right now. But like an organism. I'm just gonna say that instead, because the other word I can't pronounce. But of nature, right? Take time in the winter to reflect, rest, and nurture your inner world. And you are exactly doing that. So I feel like Spirit is confirming that ending with the 10 of Swords, all of that reflection. You are doing exactly what you're in need of. Exactly. So even though you may not feel like you're treading the right path right now, you do not know where this takes you, right? Where this is gonna lead. But it will be quite beautiful, collective. Just one more when it comes to this collective. And then again, the Hermit confirming. 43. The hermit might face demons in the form of frustration, the restlessness of unproductivity, or the fear of emptiness and abandonment. Solitude might feel unnatural, especially after the noise of modern life. If these feelings arise, remember how potent this seemingly dormant period can be. What can you unhear that usually lies buried beneath the bustle of your day? Hermits listen and learn. There's so much with winter, okay. Winter is a necessary period for rest on the earth, never hindering spirit from returning exactly when it is supposed to return. I feel like you just, I know it's so easy to say it, but it's so much harder to actually live by it, right? But surrender to that. Surrender to that right here, right now. Just like your world around you, you as well are in a winter period of your life. And therefore, don't force yourself to be something right here and now that you are not. Don't force yourself to be an energy that you would find hard to embody. If you could be seeing yourself maybe usually as quite I was about to say spiritual butterfly, but like a social butterfly, very outgoing, having people around you, and again you are just the complete opposite. Rest in it. Just like in the seasons, you are going through that isolation, that hermit, stripping off all of the things that does not serve you. Maybe not all, but a lot of them, for this new chapter, this new beginning. And it could very well be turning significantly for you when we enter the end of March, right? And I know just by saying it, it can feel long, but a couple of months out of your whole life, it's not enough. It's not. Again, we are so consumed about time, things taking time, waiting a long time. But if we truly think about it, what is time? What is time? Time is what you make of it, right? Time is what you are then doing with the time that you are giving. And right here, right now, collective, that time that you are focusing on, or that time that you are using in this moment. Look at what is creating for you. It's for something profound within yourself, for a new chapter, a new beginning, a couple of months, you focusing on that, figuring that out, going deep within you and your vessel. It ain't long. It's not long. And it is time well spent, right? Just want to give you a moon card, if I can. Yeah, so extremely thick. The answers you need are coming. Full moon in Gemini, and you had that Queen of Cups, so you could be a Gemini. That could be your moon sign, maybe. Just need to see. Number 64. Gemini card is all about the start of a new cycle for communicating with the person at the center of your question. Taking things through is the answer. Talking things through is the answer to whatever it is you're asking about. If you can't talk to the person, you can journal about it to yourself. Email, text messages, and all other forms of communication will also help you now. If the issue you are asking about concerns a sibling or a neighbor, there's a new start coming, a time to wipe the slate clean and start over. Just like we said throughout this reading, I don't think this collective should be going outside from yourself, right? This is internal. It would be more in the lens of your internal communication to you, to spirit, to source, right? Getting strength in that. Again, come into clarity. I'm hearing this for a reason, but how can you show up as the best possible version of you, your higher self, right? How can you embody that? And if it helps you, then yes, journal about it, write everything down that you can think of to gain that clarity. But maybe if you like being a bit creative and you like to do stuff with your hands, you can go to a thrift shop, for instance. That just comes to mind. And you can pick up cheap old magazines and you can look through them. You can cut things out and you can make yourself a physical vision board for you to have that clarity, and then again put that energy into something and let your mind wander. Where does it take you, right? Where is it that you see yourself? However, this card could also suggest you have been too frivolous lately and need to get grounded again. Well, we know. But most importantly, draw this card emphasizes the need to communicate. Communicate with them. Communicate with them. If you don't find yourself doing that much right here, right now, like it's not a practice that you have been doing, then take that time each and every day, just 5 minutes or whatever you may feel. Make it a habit to communicate with your team, right? I do it all day, every day. I don't even think about it anymore. Every thought I have in my head, I communicate that with spirit. I am like, okay, what do we say, guys? Do I need to go left? Do I need to go right? Are we doing this today? What am I cooking tonight? Everything. It's like a relationship. I relate everything to them because they are with me and they're here to guide me and they're there to help me. And I am so utterly happy that they are the spirit team that I have been giving in this lifetime. I'm so grateful for them. And I say that to them each and every day. Each and every day. I have this practice. I talked about it before with my readings, but when I go to bed at night, I say what I'm grateful for, but I also write it down. You have that app on your phone, like the calendar app. I go to that and I write down my gratitude of the day. I make a whole list and I always end it with me. I'm grateful for me. That's a thing I have. I need to be able to show gratitude for being me, being myself, being this vessel. It's this vessel, right? It's this person, me right here, that are grateful for all of this. So if I'm grateful for all of that, I will also be very grateful for that vessel, for that person, for that human being, that being me, making these thoughts, making all of this, right? Does it make sense? But I take time, and that takes, I don't even have a time for it. I can lay there for half an hour and just be grateful, giving gratitude, sending my spirit team strength, saying to them how much I love them, how much I appreciate them, how happy that I am that they're with me, how amazingly they are, how fucking, I'm sorry, how fucking awesome we have been throughout this day, how everything you put my way. And I sometimes end up making silly little rhymes for them as well, like not even thinking about it, but it will just be turned into that. So yes, I write it down. I spend maybe 5 minutes on that, and the rest of the time I just lay there, just like a meditation, laying there showing gratitude, so much gratitude, because I would not be this person I am today if it weren't for all of those hard lessons. I know there is a reason why I needed to go through all of that, all of that heartache, all of that pain, all of that suffering, all of that loss. I wouldn't have been able to sit here today, having walked through that and relay this message to this collective if I didn't myself walk through it. Does it make sense? So we may not in the moment be able to connect the dots like that, but just know there's always a reason for it. Always. That was a deviation. Just to finish this off, I want to get you a message card from your divine team. Okay. If your mind is fixed, try to free yourself from that. Rise above it. Don't place limitations on what you think you can achieve. Don't stand in your own way. Allow yourself to flourish in all ways. Become abundant in all forms of your life. Instead of pushing yourself too hard, stop, breathe, and reevaluate. You are doing enough even if it doesn't feel like it. Don't wear yourself out to the point of exhaustion. It is not worth it. Balance your time more wisely. And we talked about that in the beginning. Again, listen to this whole reading if it resonates, right? You wouldn't plant a seed and then dig it up every few minutes to see if it has grown. So why do you keep questioning yourself, your hard work and your decisions? You have patience, stop overthinking, and keep watering your seed. Amen. Amen, collective. That was beautiful. Hard, but a beautiful reading. I just want to I need my tea. Oh, just want to give you some dices here, and the numbers that came out, either dates are significant, numbers are significant, angels numbers you need to look up. Let's just see. So 4, 5, 1, 0, 0 could be something about completion, and 10 and 20, right? So we have and 12. What do you want to become? 8. Okay. So we have 5, 5, we have 0, 0, we have 10, not 30. 1, 4, and 8. Okay. So again, significant angel numbers you would need to look up. The first of the 8, the 30th of the 4th, like in this month, the 30 in January could have been a very significant date, like the end of January, right? The 4th as well, the 5th as well. The 1st of January could have been very significant for this collective. May could be very significant, and we talked about like April as well, or like the end of March, the beginning of April, with like the spring coming in again, could be very significant. But maybe May would be a very significant month for this collective as well. Just initials to tie you through this as well. Maybe it will spell out something that you need or whatever. P, C, T, I, C, D, L, B, Z, J, N, J, M, N, J, R, I. Okay. And I lost one. What was that? Where did it go? Can I even find it? I'm not sure. Oh, I don't know where that one went. Maybe underneath the chair. But that was the reading for today, my angels. Thank you so much. I will be back again tomorrow with a new one. And as always, thank you, collective, for tapping in, for tuning in and listening. And I will be seeing you another day, another time, in another reading. Bye, my angels. Bye.